growing up, all I ever wanted was to be a professional wrestler. I watched as these athletes put their bodies on the line day in, day out, compelling stories and doing things for us fans. I wanted to share the ring with my idols, my heroes. I wanted to be great. I am Adam Corquez, and this is my story of how I became the undisputed greatest of all time. 16 years old. The year 20. I knew the road was easy. And it was. I found myself working endlessly for 3 years before I even got my first appearance in a random bingo hall. At that time I was 19. Only phone cameras, £20, sometimes 40 if I was lucky. I even had to work 2 other jobs to keep up with rent. I was searching for the one thing that might break away the internet. The things I pulled off just to get noticed was wild, dangerous, stupid. But I love it. Dude Wild got him up top! No way! Main event. The main event. Around 40 people in some random parking lot with no proper medics. I took something bigger than I needed. I landed wrong. Of course, I finished the match, but I couldn't feel my fingers properly.
You're very lucky you'll still be able to walk after this if it happens again. It won't be the same story.
C6 vertebra compression. 6 months out, 6 months watching other people take my spot. 6 months of realizing this business doesn't wait for anyone. February 2025. I was 20. When your body breaks, the phone doesn't stop ringing. Got a message from my agent, who I haven't heard from since my injury. He's been working hard to keep bookers interested and, well, I suppose he did his job. He killed a man named Dave Hitchens. Not just a promoter, but an influencer. Dave owned a show, GTS Wrestling. A YouTube show. Millions of views. Not exactly Madison Square Garden, but GTS was undergoing its own injury crisis and needed new talent. Dave promised to pay for my expenses for me to fly over and get settled into the United States. Those who were close to me, who I told, laughed when I said yes. They said it wasn't real wrestling, that I'd just be a bottom feeder, a jobber, but here's what they didn't understand. You can't build an empire if no one knows your name. I didn't sign because I was grateful. I signed because they needed me, and I needed to show the world what professional wrestling truly was. March 2025. I made my debut match against Tony Chin. What was supposed to be a 5-minute match to put him over. Instead we said fuck that, and we tore that backyard down for 15. Stiff shots, near falls, real wrestling. Fans weren't talking about him in the comment section by the end of it. They were talking about me. Dave pulled me aside after the show. He said he wasn't expecting much. Thought I'd be wobbly on my feet because of my neck, but I wasn't. He was impressed. And the fans, they were hooked on me. Just like I planned. July 2025. I even won my first tag titles there, me and Tony Emerald. Reign lasted around 2 months, then he betrayed me. Not because he hated me, because he knew I was going to outgrow him. I got my get back soon enough after that. April 2028. 3.5 years later, a YouTube World Championship match. Grimomania. Me versus Grim. The fans were certain I'd win. I had the world behind me. I had the GTS fans behind me. And I was certain that I would win. But here's the thing. Things don't always go your way. Especially in this business. I lost. People hated it. I didn't feel great about it either, but whatever. In fairness, probably wasn't my time just yet. But I didn't get here today by sitting idle. People wanted to see me with the belt until one day my most quoted line set its course. Some people build companies with sweat, hours, years, injuries, you name it. With some other people, just own them. I've given this place my all, my blood, my life, and for what? To lose when it matters most? Dave, you don't want a world champion. You want control and your own success. Fans rally behind me like never before, and Grim is forced to give me a rematch. So, next show, rematch time. In all honesty, we had some good back and forth. Mid-match, I take a bump and bang! I land directly on my neck. Phone stopped rolling. Some media reports paint it that I argued with management after the show. Realistically, there was more before that. Nobody knew what was brewing backstage. Dave never wanted me to get this far, let alone have the tag titles. At the end of the day, I guess I was always signed to be a bottom builder. 2 weeks later, statement is released. Marcus Galloway, aka Adam Cortez, and GTS Wrestling mutually agreed to part ways. At the end of the day, I grew some followers. To be completely honest, I was fine. My neck was the injury I had to fake. You see, Dave wanted to retain the title with someone running in and screwing me. I knew that would dent my momentum as well as the fans being angry at the booking, so yes, I faked an injury. And I came clean to Dave about it, which he obviously wasn't a fan of. By that time, my GTS career was over with just 3 years with the company. That was it. No goodbye, no farewell speech, just controversy on my back. GTS gave me exposure, it gave me enemies, it gave me a platform, which is stuff I never had going into it. But it also showed me something else. In this business, you don't ask for permission, you take it. Leaving GTS wasn't the end of my career. I wanted a bigger stage, a bigger challenge. I wanted the world to see what professional wrestling truly was. Not the lights and the scripted drama, but the blood, sweat, and skill. That's why, when they came knocking, I joined DPW. My debut was against Jake something. It was scheduled as a quick showcase, maybe about 5, 6 minutes, maybe 7. But the moment I hit the ring, I knew it was different. The intensity, the crowd, the electricity, it all demanded I give more than I was previously going to give. 15 minutes later, we had stolen the show. I forced fans to witness perfect, flawless wrestling, pure and unfiltered. But after that, the next 2 years, DPW became a proving ground. They wanted me to go against the growing homegrown talent who apparently were in the same boat as me, but I can tell you now, I wanted it more. Chris Danger. Chris represented the sports entertainment side of things. Flashy, scripted promos and spots, high-risk stunts. I wanted to prove that real wrestling mattered. Our feud spanned for 3 brutal matches, ending in a 30-man Iron Man match that left both of us bloodied and exhausted. Ending 3-3. White Tiger. He wanted a spectacle, and I wanted an example. We mixed styles in a chaotic but disciplined match that sold tickets for weeks. Noah Hall. He underestimated me, and so I overpowered him. Not with raw size, but with skill. This feud was physical, punishing, and it became personal. Ryan Miles. Ryan was a DPW lifer, and I had the advantage being on the outside. This feud taught me that patience and psychology tell a match before the bell even begins. BDE held the DPW World title. I challenged them relentlessly, not just for the gold, but to expose the difference between wrestling skill and entertainment hype. Our first ever match in a steel cage in DPW was legendary. The fans still talk about it, as they should. However, it failed to take home the gold. Like I said, I wanted to show the world that wrestling should be serious, hard-hitting, and emotional. The months of grueling matches, I finally dethroned Brandon. Holding that belt wasn't about ego, it was proof that true wrestling could survive in a world obsessed with flashy and passing moments. But after my time was up in DPW, I realised it wasn't just a company. Every feud, every match, every belt, it was all part of my story. It was all part of my legacy. And I would never forget it. It was part of the story I wanted to tell. The story of what professional wrestling really is and what it should be. 3 years of DPW and I never wanted to leave, but when you outgrow your competition, something's knocking at the door. To adapt is to thrive.